Okay, so it comes as no surprise that Lovecraft Country was canceled way before its time. But at the time of its cancellation, Misha Green was already moving on to the second season. So season 2 was going to be titled Lovecraft Supremacy. And as Misha put it in her season 2 Bible, was that it was going to begin in a new world that sits precisely where the United States used to sit. Welcome to the sovereign states of America. She divided the United States into 4 different territories: the tribal nations of the West, the Whitelands, the New Negro Republic, and the Jefferson's Commonwealth. I'm going to do the Whitelands because that's the only one that she actually shared what that would have been about. And she said the Whitelands would have been completely overrun by zombies. Most of them were slow, but there were pockets of like fast ones. These zombies were the intended results of the origin spell, and eventually the other 3 territories had to work together to corral them in the center of America. However, when it comes to the tribal nations of the West, I would have imagined that it would have been lands reclaimed and controlled by indigenous people taking back space and power. The New Negro Republic, I looked at that as a Black-led nation stretching across the South, representing sovereignty, ownership, and liberation. And then the Jefferson's Commonwealth, the Northeast, is governed under its own laws and systems of power. So if you remember at the end of season 1, white people were stripped of all access to magic. Season 2 felt like it was going to be flipping the power structure on its head and reimagining America when oppressed groups build and govern their own world. So I saw season 1 as survival and transformation. I looked at season 2 as reconstruction revolution, rebuilding society, redefining supremacy, and imagining a future rooted not just in resistance, but ownership, leadership, and sovereignty. And so what sucks about Lovecraft Country getting canceled is not that it was only canceled after 1 season, but it was canceled before we could have seen what could have been. But then also, I can also see why they didn't want us to see what could have been. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, these are my thoughts on what I thought season 2 would have been like. What's your take? What do you think season 2 would have been like? See you in the comment section.